You are listening to How to Get Over Your Ex, episode number 255, the unexpected benefits of fasting during a breakup. Welcome to How to Get Over Your Ex, a podcast on getting over your ex without it just taking time. I'm your host, Breakup Coach Dorothy. Let's turn your pain into power and your heartbreak into happy. Happy Monday, beautiful brave hearts. I hope you are having a magical, amazing day. I suppose you might be listening to this and it's not a Monday, but happy, beautiful day, whatever day it is for you. It's a good day to have a good day. I am sending you so much love. I hope you have an exciting time today. Let's turn it around. It's a good week to have a good week, right? Sometimes I wish that I could see you and feel you because I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like we're best friends, right? Come hang out with me on Instagram at Breakup Coach Dorothy. Say hi because I feel like we're friends. Anyways, I wanted to talk today about fasting. I get asked a lot about fasting. It's kind of weird actually because clearly I am not a fasting expert, nor do I have any background in nutrition. So I do want to give that as a disclaimer today. I am not trained in this. I am not giving out any medical advice in any way, shape, or form. Please do your own due diligence. This is your body. Keep it safe. But I am here to talk today about my experience in fasting as it has changed my life and honestly saved my life, and how I could see its role in breakups and divorce settings and situations. So when I'm saying fasting, I want to be clear about what that means to me, because I think it means a couple different things to multiple different people. So when I'm talking about fasting, I'm actually talking about abstaining from food. The only thing I would consume is green juice that I made myself at home. It wasn't something I purchased at the store. I went and purchased spinach, kale, celery, parsley, limes. The only fruit, I guess, in there were limes, but there were no fruits. It was just veggies because you wanted to remove all the sugars. It was completely green. I'd have this green juice 3 times a day to ensure I was getting all the micronutrients my body needed, but ultimately it was shutting down my entire digestive system, giving it rest, and then rebooting it. And listen, my family is in the medical, they're nurses, doctors, nurse practitioners, they would yell at me for talking to you about this. They are so against shutting down your entire digestive system. So again, do all of your own research. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just sharing my own personal experience, okay? So it would do that. It was like a system reboot. Now, I would fast for 5 days typically, and some of my fasts were only 4 days, but I do a combination of working and not working. I would work in the beginning, but towards the end, I'd have a little less energy, and I didn't want to have to use my brain with other people if I didn't want to. So I would typically take off work after day 3. It's so wild. And I did not do this unsupervised. I want to be extraordinarily clear here. For every fast I've ever done, I used to do them quarterly. I had a guide. I had someone who was trained to do this supervising me. Her name is Lindsay Lee, and I'll go ahead and I'll link her Instagram in the show notes. She says she's retired from doing this, but if enough of you contact her, I wonder if she'll come out out of retirement to do a group fast, which would be so fun. I would totally join y'all. Anyways, the first time I fasted, it was a really hard experience. I struggled through it. My body revolted. I had a fever, a cough, and when I came out of it, I slept for 40 hours straight. But I was in Bali when this happened, and I stayed in Bali for a month after the fast, eating only fresh food, no meat, nothing processed. Their food, so great in Bali. So when I got back to the United States, I actually was getting hives from eating what was even seemingly healthy from the grocery store here. I was buying organic fruits and vegetables and still breaking out in hives. It was a very weird experience. So long story short, that was in 2020. The beginning, January of 2020, I was in Bali for the whole month, right before the pandemic actually, which is so crazy to think about. I got back in February, and so then from then on out, I was doing these fasts quarterly up until about 2023. In 2023, I only fasted once. That was in April, but every fast after the first one, I really had extremely therapeutic, surreal, euphoric-like experiences in my fasting experience. It was so cool. My body was so clean and it was so clear. I felt like I had a direct connection to my inner voice, my inner being, my inner alien. And I remember in April of 2023, it was after April 2023, I had a miscarriage actually in November of 2022, 13 weeks. And so April of 2023, it was after that miscarriage, and Jake and I had been having like a hard time, my now husband. I was in the middle of my fast, and I just remember he turned to me and looked at me and was like, Dorothy, you're glowing. Like you look like a totally different person. Like you just lit up, light and clear. And I truly felt like me again. And I really needed that in the depths of that devastation. It was such an amazing experience. So it was very interesting for me because I really hadn't done fasts in the middle of a heartbreak until that time. And so I was in the depths of heartbreak in April 2023, really trying to move through the loss of my baby and the loss of, at the time, kind of my partner and my house. And we were going through a whole thing. So that was really interesting for me to see, of just like feeling like myself again through emptying out my body physically. Now, going into these fasts, I want to make clear that I would take about a week or two to transition into whole foods. I would eliminate processed foods. I eliminated alcohol. I eliminated caffeine. And then I would do the same thing coming out of the fast. So even if the fast is only a 5-day experience, you have 2 weeks on the front end and 2 weeks on the back end. So you do need to like bucket about a month or a month and a half to really do a fast in what I would consider the correct way. And a huge component of this is flushing out the system. And when we flush out the alcohol and caffeine ahead of time, it makes the fast a lot easier and more gentle on the body. And then, of course, when you're coming out of a fast, you're turning on your digestive system again for the first time. And you need to give it some time to like get rebooted and get going. So you don't want to just like immediately pour alcohol or caffeine into it or processed foods. You want it to like slowly vamp back up. So also with the fact that, in these fasts, we're flushing out the system, I would also do enemas twice a day. So one in the morning and one in the evening before bed during the duration of the fast. Now, the reason I bring all of this up on the How to Get Over Your Ex podcast is this. I believe thoughts create feelings. Thoughts, the optional thoughts in our brain, create how we feel. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. So if the quality of your thinking is disgusting and poor and negative and pessimistic, that's the quality of life you're going to be living. But the alternative is the quality of your thinking is like uplifting and inspiring and great and beautiful and grateful. That's going to be the quality of your life. So beautiful, right? Simply put. But we have to remember that it's not just the brain that is in our body, right? The brain is where that thoughts are curated and housed and all of that. But your brain is not isolated in the body alone. We have a gut, okay, which is actually pegged as the second brain. And the reason for that is that the quality of your gut can also influence the quality of your thinking. Which also brings me to talk about hormones. Hello. I know for women, the quality of our thoughts can change throughout our cycle. We talk about it inside of the Get Over Your Ex course and program. We notice thinking about your ex will come up more frequently right before your period. And that's okay. Nothing has gone wrong. It's just part of your cycle. And you'll notice quality of thoughts differ in different areas of your cycle if you begin to take note and become aware of that. Doesn't mean we don't have control over it still. We can just notice the cycles and the patterns of the different quality of thoughts we have. So this brings me to say taking care of your body is important because your brain, the thing controlling your thoughts, the computer program that's running your life, is in your body, which is connected to the gut. It's connected to your hormones. It's connected to your blood. When you allow your digestive system to take a break and reboot at the same time you're cleaning out your gut, it of course affects your body in many ways, right? We've got clearer skin, which is my favorite part, but it also affects your brain and the quality of thinking and your neural pathways and the connections going on in your brain. It also affects the connection with something bigger than you. It's literally a mind, body, spirit experience that helps and aids in your connection to all of it. And this is why it's a part of my routine when I go through heartbreak now in life. I mean, not even just when I go through heartbreak, but anytime. It's a reset for me physically, mentally, and spiritually. Also, the benefits of this to your nervous system, it's amazing. It slows you and your life way down so that you can focus on semantics and getting calm, like somatic healing, and getting calm and calming your nervous system and feeling safe in your body. It's something I highly recommend. I do not recommend you doing this alone or unsupervised. I think it's absolutely imperative and important that you find a trained professional you trust and like, because it's a journey and you want to be safe in the way you go about this because it's your body. But I just want to share my experience with you because it's such a beautiful tool in my heartbreak experiences in life, and I just keep getting asked about it. So like I mentioned earlier, I'll link my guide in the show notes here, and not sure if she's taking clients or not, but you can always try her because she's amazing. But I think what's so beneficial about this is the fact that it is a mind, body, spirit experience and connection that can give you the reboot that you're looking for, right? Like a reset, a reboot, and trying to do thought work without also not